NASCAR. There is nothing more American and better than fucking NASCAR, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, think about it. Think about the beauty that NASCAR bestows upon our country. It's a place where boys turn into men. It's a place where the slow become the fast. But it's a place where dreams become reality. And ladies and gentlemen, the liberals are trying to take that from you. That is right. That is right, because the liberals are trying to take that shit away from you because they're trying to cancel. They're trying to cancel NASCAR. Why? I don't fucking know, because they're fucking miserable assholes that want to make everyone as miserable as them. They think they get too scared because the cars are too loud, and they don't enjoy freedom and the feeling of the open road on a track of the NASCAR. So no, this is what they're doing. They're taking away NASCAR and they're replacing it with they're replacing it with the Masked Singer and the American Idol and goddamn The Bachelor and shit like that, because people are idiots and people actually watch that shit. And you know what? It is unbelievable that where our country has I will never forget the first time that I experienced NASCAR. It was glorious, ladies and gentlemen. It was the first time I tasted beer. And you know, I wasn't at the age where I could try beer, but I from there got my little sip that way. And it was the first time I saw a pair of titties. I mean, it was an old lady pair of titties, but a pair of titties is a pair of titties. That's what I always say. And it was the first time I truly felt a sexual experience. And it's not from the titties. The sexual experience wasn't from the titties. No, sirree, no. The sexual experience was from the sexual experience was from the rush that the car engines gave me. I mean, when those fuckers, you know, when those fuckers pass you in the stands, I mean, that shit rushes from the tips of your toes all the way up to your urethra, and holy shit, that shit be rumbling. I don't think I've ever felt more alive than I was there. And you know what? And that was a time when the liberals were non-existent. Okay? And the stands are full of women and titties and beer and good food. Good American food. Hot dogs, hamburgers. So, corn dogs. And damn, I missed that. So, you know, I think it's important that we keep the spirit of NASCAR alive. So even, you know, I will literally kill myself. I will literally kill myself if NASCAR dies. And if the liberals continue to murder NASCAR like they have been doing, I will kill myself. Because there's no point in living. There's no fucking point in living if I can't watch those cars just drive on the track like they do. I know my viewers are probably, you know, in the NASCAR spirit all the time, but maybe for some of you that are like, oh my god, NASCAR, that stupid ass sport? And then I want to change your mind. I want to be the bearer of good news and change your mind. I love NASCAR, and I will truly remember it for what it really is. And the first time I really saw NASCAR, it changed my life. And I will never forget the day Jeff Gordon died. That was that fucking really hurt. And he was just a really good man that really had a fucking beautiful career ahead of him. I can't even talk about this. I mean, when Jeff Gordon died, it really like set me into a dark place for a really long time, and I will And I love God, but what the was he thinking when he decided to take him? That pissed me off. You hear me, God? That pissed me off. You know, you have a fucking ass like damn fucking Ed Sheeran and fucking the Harry Styles douchebag, and you take Jeff Gordon, a true American, and you let those assholes live? Take both of them. I don't care. Just leave Jeff Gordon. They piss me off. So before, I'm sorry, I got really intense there. So consider this, Jeff Gordon, an episode dedicated to you. And I would like to take this time for a little 10 or 15 second. Oh, turning my stomach in all sorts of ways. God damn, my head is killing. So Jeff Gordon, I want to consider. I want to take this time for a little 15 second. No, let's have 20 seconds of silence for Jeff Gordon. So Jeff Gordon, this one's for you. In memoriam for Jeff Gordon. Let's take a 20. For Jeff Gordon. You will be missed. Ride fast. And live, dream big, Jeff Gordon, and ride fast. Because in heaven, the fastest car you will ever ride is with the car with God. We love you, Jeff, and we always remember you. So I wrote down some cool facts that I think you guys would really enjoy about the NASCAR. So let's have the fact. Here's fact number one. NASCAR was founded in 1948 by Bill France, and I just want to take this time to really just thank Bill France for creating NASCAR in 1948. Because without him, we wouldn't have fast cars and hot women with titties coming out of their shirts when the cars come by, and for that I truly thank him. So I really hope that Bill France and Jeff Gordon up there riding in a car together and really just sharing a beautiful moment together, because they're almost like father and son. Next fact. NASCAR drivers don't actually need a driver's license. I actually did not know that until I wrote this down. I thought they needed a driver's license, but they don't. And that's kind of interesting. So pretty much I could be a NASCAR driver because I don't drive. I've had a series of I was presumed guilty on many false charges of DUI, but they really couldn't prove it. But I can't drive, so I could still keep that dream alive of NASCAR, because for me, like, everyone knows that I want to be like a singer-songwriter, and that's really number one. But number two, a close number two, I will settle for a NASCAR driver. And if God wants to put me in that path, then God can put me on that path. And I look forward to whatever path He puts me on. But I really hope He puts me on the singer-songwriter, because I really want to make music. Some of the most famous drivers are Dale Earnhardt, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Dale Earnhardt. Those two were father and son. And Tony Stewart and Jeff Gordon. Obviously, Jeff Gordon are the one. I think f those other ass. No, I'm kidding. Dale Earnhardt and Dale Earnhardt Jr. are really good guys, but Jeff Gordon is really the MVP when it comes to Jeff Gordon is really the MVP when it comes to NASCAR. So thank you, Jeff Gordon. The great. I know. The greatest driver in history is Richard Petty. He won over 200 races. Well, he may have won 200 races, but he is certainly not the greatest driver in history, because the greatest driver in history is easily Jeff Gordon. And you may think, but Richard Petty won 200 races. I don't give a shit how many races Richard Dick Petty won, because what's most important is how passionately you drive. And Jeff Gordon, may God rest his soul, he drove more passionately than goddamn Richard Petty and Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Rusty Wallace and all those other dicks. So that. I don't give a shit how many races you won. It's about passion, and it's about how you drive the car. And I picture Jeff Gordon approaching driving a car like he approaches making love to a woman. Tenderly, but with speed, because women like speed. Another fact is drivers can lose 10 pounds of sweat in a single race. What? But how are they losing sweat when they're just sitting in the damn car? Well, it takes lots of concentration and persistence and focus. When you're focusing on something, it causes the brain in your work. It causes the passion in your brain to work really, really hard. And when you're working that hard, it releases sweat endorphins. So that's really what it comes down to, people, is the sweat endorphins. The average NASCAR, the average NASCAR can reach speeds of 150 miles per hour to 200 miles per hour. That's the length of one football field in 1 second. Holy f***. Are you f***ing kidding me? One football field in 1 second? Think about it. So a football field weighs about 100 yards. So think about that. Fucking Randy Moss, who is the Adrian Peterson, who are these running backs? So it is, these running backs got nothing on a NASCAR. These running backs will be eating the dirt of the NASCAR, because a NASCAR can easily beat them in a foot race, because none of those ass can run 100 yards in 1 second. I like to see them try. Some of you may not have known this next fact. NASCARs may appear to have headlights and taillights, and front grills, but it's actually decals. And if you don't know what a decal is, it just means that it's painted on. And so you're thinking, wait a minute, how do they drive around at night? Well, because if you look at a NASCAR truck, they have the lights it's like a street light, but it's goes all around. So they don't really need they don't really need headlights on the car, which is really cool. And I always thought that NASCAR. Here's the final fact of the evening, folks. Oh, God. NASCAR drivers never know how to. NASCAR drivers never know how fast they are NASCAR drivers never know how fast they're going because they don't have speedometers. What? They don't? No, they don't. Because when it comes to NASCAR, the only thing that matters, you don't have to worry about the speed you're going. All that matters is that you're passing the motherfuckers in front of you. There's no speed limit on a track. There's no speed limit on a track, you fucking pussies. All that matters is, the only speed that matters is passing the cars to win the race. Ladies and gentlemen, I encourage everyone to stand up and protest, because we will not let these liberal asses take what we want, what makes this country great. So I encourage all my viewers to stand up and fight and take back NASCAR. And once again, I would like to dedicate this episode to Jeff Gordon. May he rest in peace, and may his spirit drive 200 miles per hour, because he deserves it. I will not forgive God for what he has done by taking away our Messiah, our second coming of Jesus Christ. I'm sorry. I do forgive God, but why'd you have to take it? Alright, I gotta go lay down, put some ice in his head, because I feel like my brain is on fire right now. Alright, drive fast and eat ass.